Yeah, I went to the West Coast outreach with Devin, and specifically, there was this moment where my team was in San Francisco, and we did open air worship, which is worship in the streets or just in public. And I remember specifically we were at this square, which is like right by the streets, and there were like tourist bus, double deckers, and like tourists walking around with businessmen, and just like society in public, just walking about. And yeah, we were doing worship, but then we were so scared because I don't know, maybe it was just the fear of man that was just overwhelming us, or it's just that it was so out of place. So like the worship leader was doing his best to like try to encourage us to sing out loud, but then we couldn't do it. So we were like almost like corpse, like just standing around with like blank face, whispering, barely worshiping, and like just looking around, trying to act like we weren't worshiping at that point. And yeah, and I would be the first to say that I was also one of the most guiltiest of that, of not worshiping, because I was looking down at the ground because I felt this fear, like this weight on my neck, and I couldn't look up because I was almost ashamed of who I was and just my identity of being a Christian. And yeah, it was just such a strong, overwhelming, suffocating, crippling time. But between the transition of a song where it was just a bit silent and the worship leader was just crying out to us like to pray out loud, to not be so fearful, and to just believe in God and just be trustworthy and just trying to encourage us, I felt at that moment in that silence stirring in my heart like, this is my time, like I need to speak out loud right now. And so I opened my mouth not expecting a prayer, and I just started to shout out loud. And that's a really huge thing for me because there has been points in my life in the past where I have denied being a Christian because of my shame. And to actually do that in public and to actually say a prayer that loudly, like turning heads and people looking at me strangely, like what is this person doing, praying out loud, talking about God, that really impacted me because I realized at that moment I had almost a supernatural amount of courage. I was just boldly going out and just proclaiming, I'm a Christian and this is who my God is, and this is who I want you all to believe in, and this is why I'm acting out right now. Like this strangeness, this weird behavior, this peculiar behavior of mine, it's all because of you, because of God. Yeah. And so I just want to share that.
That's good.
Yeah.
So awesome.
So awesome. That's good. And it was so cool, like when you started like talking out loud, like all of us were like,
That
you, Josh? He speaks. It was like so wild because it just came, like you said, out of left field, because like we just like ended worship and it was just kind of like, and you're like, God, and I was like, ha! So cool.
When he said his testimony in Florida,
oh no,
you came with power, bro. Like
we had it. We were in Clearwater. We were like, oh my gosh, she shared his testimony, like the word was going around.
Yeah. You made me cry.
Yeah.
No, for real, like,
it was
really
really
made me
moving.
cry. Yeah, it was so powerful, so genuine, so deep, man. That it just, if it struck my heart, I mean, just the other guys, man, that were there, dude. And like, yeah.
That actually reminds me because like in YWAM, I saw a lot of people that just being so genuine, just being so real, and there's this difference in them just compared to the outside world because there's something different about them that you can't tell. You really can't tell because like it's just the way they relate and it's just the way they love, and you just know, oh, that person's different, that person is real, like there's something genuine about him, there's some confidence in him. And I felt that in people around me, and I'm really glad maybe I have a little bit of it now.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, you do.
So good.
Yeah.